Welcome, dog moms and dads, to our show where we discuss the everyday joys and challenges of pet parenting. I'm your host, Jen.
And I'm Ashley.
And this is the Dog Mom Podcast presented by ZippyPaws. Insert music. Right. So welcome back, everyone. This week, we're super excited to introduce a new series called Inside the Breed, where we bring on dog moms or dads who are experts on a specific breed. So personally, I don't really have too much experience outside of golden retrievers and golden doodles. So I'm sure some of you, like me, would love to know more about other breeds and learn more about them. And if you're in the market to adopt a new puppy, I think this would be very helpful for you to find a breed that you like. So today's episode is on Italian Greyhounds. So please welcome our first breed experts, Jess and Ryan, otherwise known as the Iggy Parents.
Welcome, guys.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you for being our first guests on the show. We're super excited and kind of nervous. We haven't done this before, so hopefully it goes well.
I'm actually really excited about this because I don't know a lot about Italian Greyhounds, but I love the big Greyhounds. That was a dream dog for me, but unfortunately they have an extremely high prey drive, and I have a 5-pound cat that looks very much like the prey that they used to chase. We wanted to rescue a racing Greyhound after they had retired, and when we went through all the process, and they said, you might want to be careful with that one, because they had started out by saying, they don't necessarily do great at the dog park because they'll go after like a Maltese or a Shih Tzu. And I go, oh, Ari, it kind of looks like that. And then I discovered that there are Italian Greyhounds that are just like mini versions of these perfect dogs. And so I'm super stoked to talk to you guys today.
Yeah, so maybe you guys can give us an overview of like the Italian Greyhound and how they differ from regular Greyhounds. And I know they look a lot like Whippets.
Yeah, so Italian Greyhounds are also known as Iggies for short, and also known as IGs.
So cute.
IG. Yeah, it's a big thing on the social media game that Iggies they've got their own little community. It's adorable.
Oh, I love it.
But they are the toy version of the breed. And then Adelaide is crying. Sorry. They are the toy version of the breed. And then Whippets are like the mid-size version. And then the Greyhound is the full.
So they just like for the medium Greyhounds, they just were like, why don't we just call them Whippets? Like a whole different name instead of like medium Greyhound or the French Greyhound.
Yeah, they were bred actually later as well. So Italian Greyhounds were bred in, we said 2,000 to 3,000 years ago.
Mm-hmm. There's actually mummies of, if not exact Italian Greyhounds, small sight hounds that look very much like they do the modern Italian Greyhounds look.
So Italian Greyhounds came first, and then the Whippet is a more modern version.
Like in the last 200 years.
So
Got it.
Modern, but
Yeah.
the last 200 years.
I did a little research and I found out that Italian Greyhounds have a long history of being popular with nobility and royalty, including like the Medici family and lately Queen Victoria. So they've been a pretty royal breed, I would say.
Mm-hmm. And they've been bred to be bed warmers for the royalty. So this is like before central heating. So you'd have like 3 or 4 of these dogs and they'd get in bed and they love their breed, so they all want to be together with you. And then when you're hot, then you kick them out of bed and they go cuddle together somewhere else.
They do make good bed warmers.
Mm-hmm. And they want to be warm. They want to be under blankets.
So I kind of want to hear about your story with Adelaide and kind of like the process of how you guys decided on Italian Greyhound and what was the process like bringing her home.
Yeah, so we were sitting in an airport coming back from New York, and we had been talking about getting a puppy because neither of us have had a puppy together. I had a puppy when I was 8 years old, but I don't remember sort of the puppy stages as I was only 8.
And when I was in grade 5, my family got a guide dog in training, so a foster dog that we had for a year. I had told my parents, like, I really want to get a dog, and they're like, we will try it out for 10 months, and then that was the last time that we did it. Just the once.
We were actually just at their house, and it was like the ghost of Tinker was following us because the tag kept showing up. There was an old tag that got stuck in the vents, and we were talking all about Adelaide, and Adelaide's running around, and I was like, oh my God, what's this tag? It had been taken out of the vents, and then it got stuck in the laundry in your pants, and it showed up again. So Tinker's listening. Wherever Tinker is.
Oh, bird's coming.
That's Birdie, right?
That's
Aww.
Birdie. I've tried to
Hi, Birdie.
lock her
Oh my God,
outside,
there's
but
Kramer!
oh, she took my slipper. I've tried to lock them out, but the door won't close.
Need to wedge
They're
a
so
chair under the doorknob.
Yeah.
Doorknob.
But yes, we were sitting in an airport thinking about getting a puppy.
And this is 2 months after we got married.
Oh yeah, so it's
okay.
pretty much a honeymoon present. But we were thinking, if we were to get a dog together, what kind of breed would we like? And I've only ever had small dogs, so for me it was a no-brainer. We live in an apartment. We're always going to live in an apartment, pretty much. We wanted a toy breed, and I'm actually allergic to dogs, and Ryan is somewhat.
I'm allergic to cats for sure, and then maybe some breeds of dogs.
Yeah, and I'm even still a little allergic to Adelaide. It's the saliva that gets me, the licking causing hives, that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. But we looked online, and we were looking at all the different breeds, and a lot of them require grooming. And I previously co-owned a toy poodle with my old roommate, and she's still around. She's wonderful, Maisie the toy poodle. But it's so pricey to get the grooming done all the time, and also you don't always recognize your dog because the hair changes. So I kind of was thinking, I wish we could find a breed that was small, didn't need grooming, and was hypoallergenic. So we looked.
The perfect dog.
Yeah, everyone's like, oh, Italian Greyhounds are as close as they get to being hypoallergenic. I was like, oh my God, I love
And not Whippets or Greyhounds for whatever reason. Italian
weird.
Greyhounds have this.
Yeah.
This trait about them, but the big ones don't.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And again, they say no dog is truly hypoallergenic. So if you are allergic, you may still have issues with Iggy's. But I've been so great so far, and yeah,
She's fit.
Yeah, that was
perfectly
perfect
into
for
our
you.
lives.
we also love. I loved Seth Meyers' dog, which is Frisbee, the Italian Greyhound.
And Jenna Marbles on YouTube, who has
Oh, right.
two
She
Italian
has two.
Greyhounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I actually, when we're sitting in this airport, I searched Jenna Marbles Whippet because I had only ever heard that. I don't know why Whippets have more street cred than Italian Greyhounds, but that is what I thought she had. And then from there, we figured out what it is that these actually are.
Yeah, I've heard of Italian Greyhounds before, but I never knew kind of the difference between them and Greyhounds. And I know they look a lot like Whippets, so it's good for you to kind of teach us the differentiation between the three. And now I feel like an expert.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the smallest one, and then Adelaide is even kind of small for the breed. She's around 9 pounds, and they can get up to 15, sometimes 20, versus Whippets that are 40. And Greyhounds that
They
are
range from
80.
25 to 40, and females are always smaller.
Yeah.
But they can, to think a 40-pound dog versus a 9-pound dog, they really do look different. But when you look at pictures on social media, I always look and I'm like, is that a Whippet or is that an Iggy?
Right, you
I
can't tell.
sometimes.
You need a
Right, 'cause
banana
you're
for
trying to-
scale or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're trying to fill the whole frame with the dog, and then they look huge, and it's oh, wait, they don't even come up to my knee.
And a lot of people think that Adelaide is bigger than she is. They see photos of her and they're like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, when they meet her in real life, I didn't think she'd be so small. So I think she's
And you
got
said
muscles
she's-
on her. She's strong.
You said she's 9 pounds?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jen, do you remember when Birdie was 9? I can't remember when Bjorn was 9 pounds.
I don't think she was 9 pounds. I think she came home and she was 12 pounds. So
Oh my
Which
God.
is
Yeah.
crazy to me.
So
Yeah,
she
'cause
was
Bjorn
probably
always
9
big.
pounds at like 5 weeks.
When we first met Adelaide, I had both her and one of her sisters in my hands like this. I mean, obviously you can't see. But
dogs in
cupped
your
in my
hand.
hands, I had 2 dogs, and they were just about 1 pound each.
Oh my gosh, how precious.
Heart.
I think 3 weeks old, I think. Yeah. It was adorable.
So how did you decide on the name Adelaide?
We have so many reasons behind her name.
Yeah,
We-
I listened to your podcast, your first episode, so like I just want you to tell the story all over again.
Absolutely. So I feel like we're big nerds. So a lot of research and thinking about this we thought a lot about it. And first off was Adelaide from Guys and Dolls, the musical. So we're both musical theater actors.
yes.
And I did Guys and Dolls as one of my shows after I graduated from school in Boston. And I understudied Adelaide. And she's kind of sassy. And I thought it was a cute character and a good name as well.
And we were looking for a little old lady name to be a little bit unique, but also because these dogs are just so dainty with their little tiny legs.
That's so cute.
what's like an old lady name? And we were watching a lot of Downton Abbey. So I was like, like Mary or Sybil or Edith. And
or like
Edith was a big
Eleanor,
contender.
or- yeah, something
Eleanor,
like
that was on the list. Marion was on the list.
And Ingrid.
Ingrid. I also like Ingrid
Ooh,
Michaelson.
yeah.
So it's like,
That's a cute.
Maybe.
Ingrid the Iggy, that would be cute.
Oh my gosh, that's so
I
cute.
know. I like
You
that.
should get another one and call her Ingrid.
We're thinking about it. We're
Good,
in talks with
good.
our breeder. We're on the list.
Oh.
Yeah,
So fingers crossed.
Because like we said, these dogs do really well in groups or pairs. So when we go out for a walk, like the number one thing that she wants is to meet other dogs. She goes and she'll sit on, we've got a little balcony that's got kind of a glass railing, and she just goes and sits and looks out and wants to meet all of the dogs from the 3rd floor. Luckily, like not in a dangerous way.
No. She's calm enough, and we would snatch her if not.
Yeah,
But,
number one thing that she wants is a playmate.
yeah, that's the one
And
thing
we
we've
will
learned
oblige.
from. Yeah. What we've learned from quarantine. She needs a friend.
Yeah,
I can
I've-
relate to that.
I've always had one dog, and having Kramer, he was about 9 years old, and he was like slowing down a little bit, and we just thought it would be a great time to get him like a little friend, keep his spirits up, and make him feel young again. And unfortunately, we got Birdie. I say unfortunately because she's like so much energy that she like runs into Kramer all the time. She like nips at his feet. So I'm not sure if I know he loves her, but I just don't know if he's like,
He loves her.
he does love her and he protects her so much, but I think he's like, take this one back sometimes, you know?
That's okay. Bjorn's
What did
been
you bring
trying
me home? What is this?
Yes. The first day, like videos of Kramer were of him being like super excited, and then you cut to like day 2, day 3, and all the videos of him were just like giving us a side eye, like, who is this and
Why is she still here?
Why is she still here? When is she going home? I hate this. But it took a few months for them to like adjust and kind of fall into their space in the family, I guess. Yeah.
So then also Jess works on Adelaide Street in Toronto. And the number one place that I want to visit is Australia. And there's a place, Adelaide, Australia, that now, because for some reason there's a huge Italian Greyhound community in Australia. So tons of people find us on Instagram and think that she is an Iggy from Adelaide. They're like, oh my God, it's like, sorry, we're on the other side of the world, but like, we'll be Instagram friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Maybe one
I
day.
first thought of when I heard of your dog's name is, do you love Australia? Are you Australian? Are you from Adelaide?
The Guys and Dolls reference just sells it for me. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the toy poodle that Jess was talking about, Maisie, was Toto in The Wizard of Oz in the production where we met.
Oh.
So that's I know. So we've always been connected by dogs. That's
I love
and when
it.
we moved in together, we had to say goodbye to Maisie, but she's still with my old roommate. But we said goodbye to Maisie, and then I was working as a dog walker at one point, and I was like, I just need dogs in my life. And then we kind of, we were talking, we're like, what if we just got our own? It would be really great.
I love it.
Yeah. How was that experience, like getting married and then adopting a dog right away?
Yeah. I'm going to say the worst part. The worst part is that
That's
I had
like
already
me. We always
signed.
talk about the bad parts. I'm like, I hate it.
He's going to know why I'm saying this.
Yep.
But the worst part was that I had previously signed up for a yoga teacher training. So I'm also a fitness instructor and yoga teacher. And the program was running like 2 days after we brought the puppy home. And the program was a really intense one that ran 9 to 5 every day for a month. So I was teaching 10 classes a week and taking 9 to 5 class. And I would come home. We were like a 10-minute walk from the studio. And for me, I was freaking out because I was like, oh, I need to make sure that she bonds with me. And it's not just Ryan's dog. It's also my dog. And so I would come home on my lunch breaks, which were only half an hour. And sometimes I'd sneak in like the extra 5 minutes. But I would run from the studio, come home, have lunch with Ryan and Adelaide, and then make my way back. So I made sure I got in that bonding time. Woke up extra early to bond with her as well.
Well, and a puppy's a full-time job. I think a lot of people overlook that. They are a lot of work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I worked from home, but not super successfully.
Yeah.
Right. It's like the only time that she's quiet is when I lie down on the couch and then she like gets in under the blanket between my legs. So it's like I spent a lot of mornings just full napping on the couch because that's the only way that she wasn't going insane.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
The puppy biting, that was like the biggest shock. I had never remembered my dog growing up, and she was a Jack Russell, so everyone said, oh, those are crazy dogs. And Iggy's are also a little crazy, but everyone said, oh, it's not as bad as a Jack Russell. But I never remember my dog being that bad at puppy biting. But I'm sure my parents just shielded me from this.
Yeah, mom and dad would have a different story to tell.
Yeah, they probably have more details.
Yeah, definitely.
And I apologize for the heavy breathing. Bjorn is officially back.
Welcome
I
back,
can't even hear
Bjorn.
him. Where is he?
He's so noisy. He's on the floor at my feet. He's wearing his little Hawaiian shirt. I'll try to make him jump up later. He's very
Oh my
festive
God.
today. He's a super dark dog. He looks like a wolf, and we put him in the most ridiculous clothes. It's hilarious.
I'm obsessed.
People think he looks mean. I've been told, I get told all the time that they're like, oh, he looks really vicious, which is the furthest thing from the truth. But so we've been trying to like combat that with putting him in really cute clothes. And he's okay. He's okay with it.
Is it working?
I mean, people laugh when they see him instead of switch sides. So I mean, it's got to be doing something. It makes me happy.
That's like when we try and go out and walk Adelaide now, like in the time that we're in, when we're supposed to stay away from people, like people totally forget that they're supposed to do that when they see Adelaide. They're like, oh my God, it's such a cute dog. Like come up to us. And it's like, we need to try and back it up, but it's really awkward sometimes.
I'm like, social distance.
Right.
I know she's cute. I'm
tend
sorry.
to forget about social distancing when we see a cute dog. We're like drawn to her, like, come to me, let me pet you. But then when I get close, I'm like, oh wait, 6 feet apart.
Right.
Yeah, I can't wait till everything's over so I can start petting random dogs again.
Exactly. Life
That's
goals.
the only reason why I want this to be over, is so I can pet dogs again.
Absolutely.
Are we not supposed to be petting dogs? I'm not dealing with their people, but if the leash is 6 feet,
Yeah.
That is true. I just tend to, whenever I see somebody come, I just go like walk across the street. I don't want to deal with, I just want to be careful. So
I want to know some of the breed specific quirks, because I feel like every breed has them. Every breed will do different weird things. I know Bjorn does his upside down happy dance. He's a mutt, so he has characteristics from German Shepherds and Golden Retrievers, but he'll roll on his back. He looks like a caterpillar, and he'll kick his legs up in the air when he's happy. And I know my old Golden did that too, so it's a really Golden trait. But what are some things that Adelaide does that are very much Italian Greyhound specific?
Yeah. So I know I was like, are you going to say it? Am I going to say it? I'm like, she's very much like an Italian Greyhound, but also stands out in a few weird ways. But usually they're shy and skittish almost. So to be opposite of that, she's a little bit more on the outgoing side. So I think that I've heard that it's kind of a all or nothing. So they're either really shy or they're really energetic and super outgoing. So she leans on that side, but you'll see kind of polar opposites within the breed if they're really engaging Iggy's or if they're super shy. And even her sister, we went back to meet our breeder and had a little socially distant backyard party, and all the dogs were playing, and even her sister, her litter mate, wanted nothing to do with her and was like shaking and just like barking from up on the deck, and all the other Iggy's were out playing and going crazy. So I think it's kind of day or night. They could be shy or they could be outgoing, and maybe a majority of them are on the more shy side, but it's
I guess it's the pick of the litter, pun intended.
Yeah. We got the crazy one. That's what our breeder said. She was going to be crazy.
That's funny because I always think about, because when we got Birdie, she was one of 2 females left in her litter, and obviously we picked her, but we always wondered what it would be like if we had picked her sister. I always joke with Birdie that like we should have picked your sister because you're such a headache. But yeah, it's like just even within that one litter, it could have so many different personality traits. Like they could be very different from each other.
Mm-hmm. They're very sensitive. So kind of across the board, they're sensitive in emotions, but also to the weather, to the cold. So you have to put them in clothing, even if people think that it looks silly when you bring them out. But they're very skinny and they have low body fat percentage. Mm-hmm. So putting them in clothes is super important when it's cold, even if Adelaide doesn't like it. But most Iggy's do.
Another way that she's different than the breed.
I know. I was like, Iggy's are very specific, but she doesn't always follow the rules when it comes to the breed. But usually they want to be in clothes, so you'll see them in clothes. And there's so many of them on social media that are fashionistas. I love to follow it, even if Adelaide won't wear all of the clothing.
So if you're a fashionista, the Iggy is probably a good breed for you. So you can dress them up.
That's
the
true.
matching outfits, that would be cute.
Yes. We're hoping for our next one that maybe she'll be a little bit more adventurous with clothes.
Yeah.
Does Bjorn like his clothes?
He loves them. I started putting them on him when he was little. I'm watching him like roll around in his shirt now, but he never had an issue with it. And then he slowly started learning that when he was wearing the clothes, he got a lot of attention. And that is his sole mission in life, is to get attention from a select few people. And he learned that when he had clothes on, people gave him attention. He was like, okay, I can do this.
Positive association. That's great.
I don't think he needs it, but I mean, I was with you when I got him his first article of clothing, Jen.
Yeah.
It was that I got him a sweater and a trench coat at a trade show because every dog needs a trench coat.
Solving mysteries.
Right.
That's so funny.
Going on adventures.
That is true. We were together when you bought Birdie her first dress, that pink one. And yeah, she was so cute. She loves clothes too. But she doesn't really fit in anything that I try to buy on the market. The large are always way too small for her. So I feel like there's like a difference in pet clothing. So like sometimes there's like the small breed clothing. This is like way off topic, by the way. There's like the small dog clothing where it goes from like extra small to extra large. And then the extra large is for like 25-pound dogs. And then it just kind of like leaves all of the big dogs just out of, like, they have no clothes.
I used to want to start a dog apparel line specifically for big dogs. Again, off topic because Italian Greyhounds are very small. But even as you go larger in size, the options out there are a little bit different.
And it's not as cute.
Yeah.
Not as fashion
Still
forward.
on topic though, for Italian Greyhounds, they have a lot of specific Italian Greyhound like lines of clothing. So there's a lot on Etsy because their proportions are kind of off. So from a company like Canada Pooch, we buy from, she's a size 12, but Iggy's could range like 10, 11, 12, 14. But when it comes to their proportions, even with those clothes, they don't fit perfectly all the time because of the long legs, skinny neck, thick, wide kind of barrel chest. So there's like a lot of different companies that we found online, and we didn't know this when we first got her, and then we looked, and some of them, they're all handmade most of the time, and they will sell out quickly. So they'll go on hiatus for months, and you're like, oh no, I need this now that my puppy's full grown and I can't get it. So it's like hot topic to get those Iggy clothes.
Do they need a special collar? Because I've seen you post photos with like a very wide fabric collar. Can you talk more about why they need those?
Yeah, so another also part of their personality trait is that they're escape artists. They really like to slip out of collars and harnesses. Honestly, it's really hard to find. I've heard a lot of Iggy owners as well that can't find the perfect harness or collar. So martingale collars are really popular. That's the one that have the extra piece of fabric and it pulls as your dog pulls in front. And then we use an extra wide collar on her. But for us, honestly, I think that the harness has proven to be the best. But we're trying, the collar is a new adventure. We're trying with this thick, wide collar to see if she would be a little looser on her leash. And I know that that's training. It's not the apparel that you use, but we're hoping to try and train her with the collar so that she doesn't pull so much.
Well, and I imagine they are definitely not dogs you want to get out of their harness or collar because they are wicked fast, right?
So fast. Is it 25?
25 miles an hour. And then I think Usain Bolt runs at 18 miles an hour.
Wow.
That's insane.
Yeah.
It's like when they do zoomies, you just can't even see them because they're so fast.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And that it happened to us. We were at the park with some of our friends, and another puppy came by. And so the lady said, oh, just let your dog off leash. It'll be fine. And we thought, okay, well, we've been practicing off leash with her. And when we have other Italian Greyhounds, that we have a little group in the neighborhood, and they've been playing together and we've been fine. But this time she played with the dog, got bored, and then ran to a party that was having a socially distant graduation party for these kids. And they had like chips on the ground and cake and all these things. And she just ran in circles and then left and ran right to their snacks and started sniffing in them. So I had to try and lure her back. I used dehydrated chicken and I slowly drew her back. But she almost had some potato chips and cake. It was really close. So if you're not comfortable with off leash, I say don't do it.
Yeah,
don't be peer pressured. I got peer pressured.
We've had people ask us if this dog would be good for walking off leash at all, and no.
Some owners have, but I just wouldn't trust it.
Yeah, it's not for when things are going well. It's for if something catches their attention and goes wrong, and then you have no chance of catching them or getting their attention because they're sight hounds. If they're drawn to something that they see, like they can't hear you, like their ears are basically turned off, like they're in full drive mode forward.
Like their ears are kind of like attached to their body at that point.
Yeah, and they're just not paying attention to what they're hearing.
I feel like off leash in general just gives me like just the utmost anxiety. They used to tell me that with my golden all the time. The first time I took her to the beach, everyone goes, "Oh, just take her off. She knows she knows that you're her mom. She's gonna be fine." And she books it into the ocean, and I mean, she was fine. She came back, and same thing with Bjorn, my boyfriend, all the time is like, let's teach him to walk off leash. And to your point, it has nothing to do with how well behaved Bjorn is, but as soon as there's another dog, if there's a lizard, he is like the lizard hunter. He's just gonna go, and you never know when it's gonna happen. It like gives me anxiety even thinking about it.
I feel like Bjorn would come back. It's just that in between period where you're just panicking, and your heart is like
by the time he came back. I wouldn't make it.
Even at the dog park, I'm always on alert because I'm like, she's off leash and it's fenced, but still, because you don't know where she's going to go. And since she's so small, sometimes bigger puppies don't know how to sort of control their energy. And she, something else that happens with Italian Greyhounds, if they're scared or hurt, they have this thing called an Iggy scream. And it actually happened the first time we met her. And she was in Ryan's arms. She fell off onto the ground and she screamed, and it sounds like murder. Like, it sounds really high pitched and loud and in your face. It's not just a little whimper. So it's pretty, it happened once at the park and everyone stared and she kept doing it.
I'm gonna need
we
to
had to go
Google
scoop
this.
her up.
Yeah, I do want to hear this. I feel like Bjorn does the Iggy scream, probably, when he's hurt.
If you look up, or if you watch Harry Potter, this is what someone else has told us. It's like the Mandrake scene.
Oh no.
It's like that sound. Like, it really sounds like
That's piercing.
real screams.
I'm going to have to rewatch
But
that.
yeah. I don't know if there's any Iggy's online screaming. It's usually in a panic, so I don't know if anyone's filmed their dog doing it.
Right?
Right.
That
You
would
can't
be...
train
Yeah.
it to do it.
That would be kind of suspicious if they had a video of that. I'm like, why are you
I know.
taking a video, or are you doing
People
this on
take
purpose?
videos.
Anticipating danger.
Right.
Our dog, though, Adelaide, she sings, which is also why I feel like the Guys and Dolls reference worked, because she uses, and it's always ZippyPaws, honestly. She's got the little squeaker, and I think because when the toy is small enough for her mouth, she presses the squeaker really quickly, and then it somehow inspires this howl. And it's in the intro of our podcast. Like, it is like, it's a real howl, and it happens with the squeaker. And
So does
she's
she
only done it
howl with
once.
the squeaker in her mouth, or
Yeah.
Yep.
really?
That's amazing.
She has a giraffe that she does it with. She has a pig that she does it with. And then a few other ones. There's even like a donut box we have that there's a squeaker in the donut box, and she'll hold a whole donut box and throw it in the air and howl to the moon. It's very weird.
I require
I've yet
videos
to
of
find
all
other
of these
Iggy's that
things.
do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
I'm like,
apparently
we
Iggy's
need to see some videos.
Oh, we've got footage. Don't you worry.
But Iggy's apparently are more prone to barking than some other sight hounds, but she, for some reason, hardly ever barks. It's only if she's really, really worked up that she will, but like, she won't bark to get your attention or anything.
What if there's like a delivery person coming to the door? Will she bark? No.
No,
Nope.
she'll just like pull and get excited and like
So
skitter around, but won't bark at all.
So I
Yeah,
feel like
she's
they just
silent.
wanted to come on the podcast and brag about how their dog is perfect.
Right? Just way better than our
I
dogs.
was just like, okay, sure.
Oh, no. No, those are the only positives. No, I mean, there's
Someone
other
does.
positives. But she's a little menace.
Yeah, she was biting your dress while we were trying to have dinner,
Yep.
and she'll try and get your ponytail or your
Oh, yeah, I
scrunchies
can't-
all the time.
I
Have to
can't
put her
teach
away
from
when we
home
do
with her
yoga.
out because she just eats my hair. She eats my leggings. We did a live video to show how she is when I teach yoga, and she just like jumped full on top of me in the first 10 seconds.
Yeah, there's an Instagram
Pounced.
post, right? I think I've seen that.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
And Ryan tried to subdue her with treats and try and train her while it happened, but she's a little crazy.
Yeah, I feel like with my dogs too, they don't like it when I'm exercising or when I have my put down my yoga mat. They think it's like time to play. They start
Yeah.
chewing my feet, and then if I have my hair in a bun, like that's a big no-no because then Birdie will like just have the bun in her mouth. It's just crazy. You can't even
Do
exercise.
they gang
with
up
these
on
two.
you?
Kramer doesn't because he's very polite, but he used to have this really bad habit of like humping. It's like terrible, but when you start doing yoga or whatever, he starts humping, but I've taught him to not do that anymore. He doesn't do that anymore. And he's a lot older now, so he's just like not really interested. But Birdie's like, "Oh, yoga? Hey, I'm here."
I love that.
She's so basic.
She is.
Birdie's like, yes.
Give me a
Birdie's like
puppuccino
downward
and a
dog.
yoga.
I can do that.
She's like, I got this.
Oh, yeah. Oh, potty training.
Oh,
I know
okay.
that was a huge thing. That's like a huge question we get on our social media from people that don't have Italian Greyhounds. And they say, number one thing we hear is really difficult is potty training. And the truth is, it is difficult. That's why it's so famous for being difficult. But do you want to talk about what we do?
Well, the biggest thing is they can't hold it for very long. They just got little tiny bladders. So there's a couple of things that we've done, but the main thing is that we have reusable pee pads. And instead of a crate, we have a whole pen set up. So she's got a bed on one half and then a pee pad on the other. And then she just uses that and is kind of perfect on it. So she doesn't have any accidents in the house, but she goes in the house most of the time. So the other thing that we have is there's a enzymatic spray. It's breaks down the chemicals that they can smell so that they don't then go in the same spot. Because when we first got her, we noticed that she wanted to kind of hide in the corners to go and use the bathroom. And it's like, oh, we can't find her. Is she in the corner? We know what's happening. And then we would bring her back to train it.
Pick her up when she was squatting and put her back on the pee pad. And then sometimes it left a trail of pee across the apartment.
Oh, no.
But it was worth it because she's 100% perfect on it. And when we travel, we went to his parents and she peed on the pee pad. We'd just lay it out and she would go on it. Like she knew right away. Mm-hmm. That's my spot.
So
that's my bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really good trick to learn.
We live in an apartment, so it's a little bit more of a hassle to let them outside. And also in winter, like I said, they need clothes. They would need boots. It would be a whole operation if we had to go out at 6 a.m. every day.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
We're in Canada, so there's a lot more snow here.
We get all the seasons.
Yeah.
All the weather challenges.
Yeah. We don't get that.
A friend of mine
here.
just moved to California. And she said, everyone's complaining that they don't have seasons. But let me tell you, they haven't lived in Canada in the winter.
I know. We always like to complain that we don't have seasons. It dips 10 degrees and we're like, oh, well, let me put on my leather jacket or let me put on my beanie. And I'm sweating in it. But I just want to take the opportunity to wear my fall clothes.
Fall fashion
is fun.
It is.
I would trade California summers for Canadian winters in a heartbeat. I was born in the wrong place. I love frigid cold snow. I will scrape that snow to not have to deal with 100-degree heat. Easy.
I mean, yeah, I
That's
guess
fair.
I don't like 100-degree heat either, but I don't want to deal with snow. You're weird.
And the dogs, you have to think of the dogs. They don't want to deal with the snow.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe your dogs would be okay because
I feel like Bjorn, when he loves the snow.
He does love the snow. When we first took him up, we were prepared for just the absolute worst. We didn't want his feet to get frostbite or anything, so he had little snow booties. And we took him to our vet, and our vet goes, well, he's a German Shepherd. He's got fur everywhere. He's fine. And he loves it. He will not go near the beach. Wants nothing to do with it. Hates the sand. Hates the waves. But if you freeze the water and put it on a mountain, he is all about it. So he might make it.
He's 100% your dog.
He is.
Aww.
And then kind of going back to the potty training thing, what is this I hear about Italian Greyhounds being able to use a litter box?
Oh, yeah. So kind of the same principle as the pee pads, but sometimes I've seen it for boys as well. There's these branded sort of boxes called doggy bathrooms, and they'll have, I don't know if anyone actually uses litter, but I have heard of it. But what I've seen mostly is a pee pad within this bathroom setting so that the boys, when they lift up their legs to pee, it won't hit the walls. But I've seen so many things like plexiglass people put on the inside of their crate so that when the boy pees, he's peeing on the glass and not the wall. This is why we don't want a male Iggy. We want another girl Iggy. Because apparently the boys also pee on themselves. If they don't pee on the wall, then they pee on themselves and you have to wash them.
Oh, really?
So-
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, because they got the big barrel chest. The
in the way.
geometry is off.
Oh, I see. Just
We've seen
the
it.
angle of the pee
Yep.
apparatus. I can see that happening.
We've seen it with our friends, and we always get reminded. We're like, oh, we want another Iggy. Oh, a girl or boy? And then we play with our friends, and we're like, oh, girl.
Another girl.
I like an exquisite squat.
So for your
Nice.
second Iggy, do you think you're still going to go with a girl?
Yeah, that's the hope.
She's gonna have
We
a
were-
sister.
How cute.
Yeah.
Two
We've
dogs is so
had,
much more fun.
Ugh, we've heard someone say like 1 Iggy is great, but 2 Iggies is not 2 times better. It's 1,000,000 times better. So
Aw.
That's sweet.
we're hoping for a little sisterly bond.
Then they can play together. Like my 2 dogs, they love to play tug of war together, and they're like around the same size, so they play well together. Obviously, they know each other. They step over each other. They like to nap together. Sometimes butt to butt, sometimes head to head, and it's just like the cutest. They're very protective of each other, so it's very fun to see how their relationship with each other is. I guess another question I have is, what is the one piece of advice that you would give to new Iggy owners or people who haven't ever owned an Iggy before?
Insurance for leg breaks?
Yeah. So you want to say this one, Ryan?
Yeah, we actually just did a whole episode about leg breaks that had a couple of heartbreaking stories that, because they've got these long, skinny legs and are kind of stronger and faster than they know what to do with, they can sometimes break their front legs.
Oh,
so
wow.
either jumping off of something or, well, we've heard it's also sometimes has to do with the genes. So sometimes they just have fragile bones. So they'll be running or playing too hard and break their leg.
Oh
so
my gosh.
it then, if they need surgery, can be like a few $1,000s to get fixed.
Like 4,000 to 6,000.
Yeah.
Is what we've heard the range.
So our breeder set us up with 6 weeks free of like a trial for pet insurance, and then we got on it right away to make sure that we had it, because if this happens, it usually happens within the first 2 years, kind of when they don't know their own strength.
Okay.
And then when they get older, then sometimes they have teeth problems, which lots of small dogs do. Maisie, the toy poodle, she's had a bunch of teeth pulled. And they can have eye problems and
There's a really long list, actually. If you
Yeah.
look up all of the health problems, it's something that our breeder asked us as well. Like, have you looked into the health and sort of upkeep of this breed? And we hadn't, and so we looked into it. But there's like, they get cataracts, they have potentially hip problems, thyroid problems, and like you said, teeth problems. Often people will say to get their teeth professionally cleaned, that it's a good practice to do that, to try and preserve the teeth. But they can live to be like 12 to 15 years old. But there's just a lot of sort of upkeep. You have to be able to look after them for the whole life. So sometimes
Right.
Iggy owners will say, don't do it. It's a really like high maintenance breed, I guess, but they're so loving and they're fragile, but they're also strong. So we're like big advocates for, watch them diligently. You can still take them to the dog park. Just, know when it's safe and when you have to be able to pull the dog away if there's something that's not right for them.
Right. So you kind of, when you know kind of the problems that they potentially could have, then you can look out for them and protect them from those type of injuries.
And I think a lot of the health things too, obviously it's going to happen no matter what, but you can mitigate that a lot with a responsible breeder as well. It sounds like one of those breeds that you don't want to get from a backyard breeder, because that can open up just a slew of additional health problems.
Absolutely. And there's sort of warning signs if you don't know what to look for that we've had people inquire with us as well. Like, does this breeder sound okay? And there's things like health checks and making sure that you've got the genetic information. So for us, we were talking to our breeder, and it turns out that Adelaide actually has a luxating patella, which is also like when like the knee dislocates, like in humans. And this is also another common thing that can happen in the breed, but our breeder was surprised because both of Adelaide's parents don't have a history of it, but there is still potential risk, you never know. So she was able to give us the paperwork like, oh, look, they've been approved, and this is the genetic testing they've had. But it turns out that hers is very minor. It's like a grade 1 out of 4. So again, if it had not been so carefully taken care of and looked after and like diligently bred, then it could have been a more potential for a worse problem.
Yeah, definitely do your research on the breeder. It can make a world of difference in selecting a responsible breeder and a healthy dog. I mean, it might be a little more money up front, but can save you a lot of money in vet bills down the road.
I was just thinking about along the lines that we were talking about with finding a breeder is the option for adoption. So I find that a lot of people will see Adelaide on the street and they'll think that she's a baby greyhound because she just looks like a little mini one. And they go, oh my God, I've never seen a greyhound that's not a rescue. Like, who knew that people were breeding these dogs? And I'll say, oh no, actually she came from a breeder. It's a very specific type of breed and they're just like a toy greyhound. And same thing like Whippet, that people get confused. But there is a community of adoption options for Italian Greyhounds. Either it's Italian Greyhounds that are being rehomed, sadly. That's something that does happen. And
with health problems usually is when they get older,
or behavior problems. I've seen it as well, that sometimes like families have children, maybe it's not a great fit if you have kids right away, but there's a community of Italian Greyhounds being adopted from South Korea, so they are being saved from the meat market there. So we know of some that have been, and they're awesome dogs. So it's nice to see that people are able to still get dogs adopted as well.
Were the meat farm dogs, was it facilitated through a group?
Yeah. The group that we were looking at as well, they fly them here. So part of the adoption fee is sort of the flight to get to our country.
That's so exciting. We're adopting a pup from Russia, and she's been on. We decided to adopt her a week before COVID hit, and then
oh my God,
they had all these travel restrictions, and first it was May, then it was June, and now it's August. So we're crossing our fingers. But I'm so interested in anybody who knows anything about the international adoptions because they're very different, right? It's not just going to an animal shelter and picking out a dog. It's, there's trauma that's involved. Although I don't know if the one that we're looking at necessarily has a lot of trauma. She seems to have it pretty good. She's got a foster over in Moscow for the weekends. But yeah, that's so exciting. Anytime dogs are rescued and left and taken out of a bad circumstance, it just makes me happy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know there's so many that I see. We keep seeing ones pop up and I'm like, oh, should we get that one? Should we get that one? But a lot of the time I don't know if we would really qualify because of living in an apartment, and we already have one as well. So the risk of them not getting along potentially. I mean, Adelaide gets along with anyone, but potentially a new pup might not adjust to her.
So what types of families or individuals would you recommend the Italian Greyhound breed to?
I would say someone who has enough time for them, at least in the beginning, because they really need a lot of your attention and your time. They're happiest when you're around. So if you're sitting on the couch with your laptop and they can curl up next to you, then like that's the perfect kind of day for them, as opposed to like if you're going to leave them for 8 hours during the day. But I wouldn't say any type of family dynamic, like having kids or anything, would disqualify you from getting one. We've seen lots of cute videos of little girls petting Italian Greyhounds, and it's adorable, and I want that.
Fully cry every time I see it. Our breeder in particular, she has 9 Italian Greyhounds herself, as well as the ones she breeds, but she also has kids, and she also has a cat. So our pup in particular was exposed to a lot of different situations. So I think maybe looking for a breeder that has potentially raised your Iggy in a situation like that might be good if you have young children. Because some of the pups that were in Adelaide's litter, she was one of 7, and some of the pups went to families with young children.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
So if you want to follow Adelaide on Instagram, her Instagram is at Iggy Adelaide. And Jess and Ryan are at the Iggy Parents, and they have a podcast too. So go check them out. It's really fun. They have video too on YouTube, which is how I watch their episodes. And I just like love the vibe that you guys got going on, just on the couch, just hanging out, chilling. I feel like we should do video more often, Ashley.
No. that's still a hard.
No, I heard in your podcast you're gonna do the video, but then COVID, right?
Yeah.
You had a sign.
We have a sign. It's like in the box, and we were gonna build like a whole. We were gonna use like the other wall in my office to do kind of like a couch situation where we can like have our dogs be in the video. I think that people would really like that, just to see our dogs interacting. My dog and her dog would fight all the time, but I think people would really like to see that. But unfortunately,
a loving fight.
Yeah, they love to bite each other.
That's why we're on the couch.
Yeah,
like, all rolling around.
For Adelaide to be in at least for the first 10 minutes before she goes crazy.
Yeah.
It's just
then she mysteriously pops out. She gets edited out real quick. Oops.
She's like there, and then all of a sudden she's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or she had clothes on, and then she suddenly did not. My brother was watching it. He was like, "Oh, she just took off her clothes magically."
She's a magician.
Poof.
No, but your YouTube videos are fantastic. You might say that you guys have good chemistry or something. It's almost like you're married.
It's like maybe you should marry each other or something.
Oh.
Well, thank you so much for coming on to the show. We had a really good time talking to you and learning more about the Italian Greyhound.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's been great. We've really enjoyed listening to your podcast. So it'll be even more reason to listen, at least to this episode. And then we'll tell people that they should come find us here too.
Absolutely. All of our Iggy friends.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then if you want to boop that follow button, you can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Dog Mom Podcast, and our website at www.zippypaws.com/Dog Mom Podcast. Thank you so much again, guys.
Thank you. And see you next week.
Thank you.